Well, I'm off on another walk and I'm just packing my supplies in my little bag to go out with. So I've got some snacks there. I've got a healthy apple. I've got some unhealthy snacks as well, but I do like these little mini cheddars. I know they are unhealthy, but I do like them, so they're going in there anyway. And I've got a little Snickers triple treat bar. I've got my water bottle, and I've got the pink one because pink is the colour of refuge. And this is going to be my water bottle while I go on the 62-mile walking challenge. So let's pop that in the bag and let's get out. And we're ready to rock and roll on day 8 of the 62-mile walking challenge for refuge. Off we go. Yes, it is cold and it's raining, and you wouldn't believe it was August by the look of the weather, but it hasn't stopped me from getting out today. And as I said, we're going to have a little walk all around my local area. We're also going to find some houses which date back in history, because I like looking at houses and working out maybe when they were built. Are they, original old houses, or are they houses that have been built in a particular style, but modern ones? So I find that quite fun on my walks, and if I find places of interest, then I go and look it up afterwards on the internet when I go home, and maybe try and find out the history of that house or that road. And I just find this really fascinating. It's a really good way to find out more about your local area when you're out walking. And some people like me find exercise a bit boring, so we have to do something else to keep our brains occupied whilst we're doing our physical exercise. So spotting things that might be of historical interest was something I actually started to do during my walks out on the lockdown, and I've carried it on through my charity walks, and now I'm hoping perhaps sometime in the future that I can take some people out, local people out, and actually teach them more about the history of the area that they live in. I do have a ladies walking group, although I've had to postpone my walks with them for a while I get fit with my back, but I'm hoping to resume my Hutton women's walking group activities. And all the ladies I've taken out on little walks around the local area have really enjoyed learning about the history, so I hope you will today. Woodland Avenue is an easy road to guess what it was named after, because it's actually by the woodlands. So that's a really, really easy one, like Woodland Close. You kind of know where that road got their name from. But let me take you a little bit further on. Okay, while there's no traffic, I'm going to try and talk to you. It's quite a busy road, this, but this is a road called Alexandra Lane, and it is by the railway bridges. And if you walk that way, you go down towards Shenfield railway station, and if you walk this way, where I'm going to walk today, it takes you further down into a part of Shenfield. So I'm going to tell you why Alexandra Lane is named Alexandra Lane, and tell you the history behind the person who the road was named after. I am, in another video, going to tell you about the importance of the railways and how important they were to my local area of Hutton and Shenfield, because most people, I'm going under the railway bridge now, most people will know Shenfield as a major junction on the line from Liverpool Street, London, out to Essex. And in another video, I will tell you about why the railways were so important to this area. But for now, they were built here at the end of the 19th century and into the 20th century. But obviously, here before was a lot of farmers' fields, and it was a very rural area before the railways and the bridges. But these bridges had to be built on farmland, and so the railway companies purchased the farmland from a lot of farmers. And most of the houses down this road were built in the 1930s, once Hutton and Shenfield had become a major place for commuters to move out to because of the train lines. And we've also got, if I carry on walking, you've got these 1930s pre-war houses here, And then obviously sometimes they get knocked down, and there are some really cool like architect built houses like the one you can see there, new builds, and you know, they are part of the new wealth that is in Essex. They have their own character as modern houses, but I actually much prefer the old fashioned ones. I really, really do. As you can see, the pavement actually comes to an abrupt stop, so I'm going to have to be really careful as I walk down this bit, because there is no pavement, and I'll catch up with you when I've got to the other side. So that's good. I got to the other side without being run over, and as you can see, I'm standing by some gates here, and behind me are what's left of some of the rural farmers' fields. That, you know, some of the land hasn't been built on, so I'm just going to flip the camera. So yeah, here are some of the fields still here, the old gate into them, and this piece of land could well have been part of Alexander's farm. That's why the road was named Alexandra Lane, because all along here was Alexander's farm. I've just made a decision to actually try and walk through these fields to the end. I don't even know if I can get out. I hope I can, but it looked pretty dangerous walking on that road because there's not a lot of space for cars to pass, and I don't really want to get run over. So I'm going to hopefully come out at the bottom here. If I can't, I'm going to have to walk all the way back. Damn. Oh, thank goodness I have found a way out of the brambles there. That was a bit hairy because I wasn't sure I could get out. I thought there might be a fence, but I've managed to get out the other end. Let's see if I can navigate the last bit of this road, and then I'll show you the first couple of places on my history walk today. Well, I finally got to the end of that road, dicing with death, with no pavement, but I managed to do it. And you can see at the bottom of this road there's some lovely little like workmen's cottages. These would have been built in the Victorian times. They are typical of like farm workers' cottages. So that's the first bit of history we're going to see on our walk today, and I'm going to keep carrying on around the corner and show you something else. Forgive me for the noise of the road. You could probably only barely hear me, but look, here's a post box, and it dates back to the time of Edward the 7th. So there you go, that's a little bit of history just on our post boxes, and it's here on this road. Again folks, apologies for the traffic, but if you look over here, here's some houses that were probably built either in the Victorian times at the turn of the century, possibly Victorian Edwardian, but again they are adjacent to land, so they could have been farmers' houses, but I love this old style of house. Let's carry on further up the road. And again, here we have a great example of farm workers' cottages here on this road, again probably built in the Victorian times in the late 1800s or early 1900s, and I think they're absolutely beautiful. Here's another little one, and these are very typical. If you see them in rural areas, little red brick workers' cottages from the Victorian times, probably 2 up, 2 down, although that one seems a little bit bigger. And see, we've got some newer houses here, but they're kind of built in the same kind of style, I think, or might have been renovated, I'm not sure. And then up here we've got a fairly big old house which looks like it might be sort of from about the 1920s, 1930s, so let's go and have a closer look at that. Yeah, that's definitely a sort of older house, possibly built in the 1920s, but it's a very big detached house. Again, backing onto the land, might have belonged to a farmer, who knows, but like the original gable there, the gable is beautiful.